Welcome to One of Those, a show that explores the art of sneaker culture. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode. Thank you so kindly for being here. Okay, on this episode, I do have an interview for you guys, all right? My man Greg from the Sneak This podcast is in the building. I talked to him a while back. I really enjoy talking with Greg, man. That show is really cool. This is coming from one sneaker podcaster to another. You guys are dope. It's one of the best shows out there, and it's because they really explore all things sneakers, and they aren't afraid to get controversial on you. They share their opinions, and Greg is definitely spearheading that, man. I'm a big fan of his, and I was happy to had him on the show. So we're going to talk to him in a few. But before we talk to Greg, I want to share something I've been thinking about for a minute, man. It's something that's been on my mind, especially since last week's episode with Fashion Citizen. And every time I talk to Fashion Citizen or I check out his page, it's really about upping your fashion, right? It's really about upping your game. And I've been really thinking about up on game. Hi, no pun intended. I've been really thinking about that lately, right? Like, you know, we starting to go back to the office. Some people have been back in the office. I personally have had to go to the office a couple of times. I've been stepping out with my wife, you know, different dates, things like that. And, you know, you can't wear a band tee everywhere. And I think we kind of got used to that during the pandemic, just sort of like being extra dressed down. But now that things are opened up and people are back officially, right? I think that you have to have variety to your clothing. And that's something I try to share a bunch on this show. You all see how I dress on this show. But also you need to have some essentials, an essential cologne, an essential piece that you wear, right? Some essential tops, pants, things like that, but also some essential sneakers. So what I want to talk about, family, are 3 essential sneakers that every man needs to have in their collection. These are silhouettes, okay? Doesn't matter what color. I might, you know, list a specific color, but I'm telling you just the silhouette you need to have. These three. You can't go wrong with these 3 in my very humble opinion, all right? If you like me, and I understand that most of my audience for this show are adult sneakerheads. I am 40 years old. Most of you guys are close to my age, right? If not older than me. You check out this show because you still got a passion for a thing. But you know where you hang out. You know who you hang out with. And I'm all about being different, but you can even be different with these silhouettes, okay? Because they come in all colors. 3 essential sneakers that every man needs to have in their collection. Let's jump right into it. Number 1, an all white Air Force One. Now, this is color specific. Now, Air Force One, right? Air Force Ones, highs or lows, in my opinion, are back. Okay. And if you want to have variety to your collection, listen to me. Now's the time to cop Air Force Ones. They are not expensive. They come in all sorts of dope colors, all sorts of dope collabs, man. One of my favorite Travis Scotts, right? Travis Scotts are all the rage right now. My favorite Travis Scott, and I have Jordan 1 Travis Scotts, is the Air Force One. It's one of my favorites. It's the number 1 sneaker I get complimented on. Okay. Whenever I wear that sneaker, people go, yo, where? But that's a loud sneaker, okay? The all-white Air Force One. The all-white Air Force One is a perfect sneaker. You can wear it with anything, honestly. You may not even feel like, well, you can't wear it with a suit. Let me tell you. If you want to go hard, okay? If you want to stand out, you can wear that thing with a casual suit, maybe not a tuxedo or something like that, but hey, you probably could give it a shot. At my wedding, my groomsmen wore Air Force Ones with their suits, and the bridesmaids, now that I think about it, wore all white Air Force Ones as well. You could get that sneaker. I think right now it's still at 99. It's probably like 110 at the most. The problem is people buy them up and they try to resell them, but for real, you can find the Air Force Ones, and there's a little bit of a hack that you can do too. Okay, if you can't find an Air Force One in your size, men, just go for a woman's size. Okay, find your size in women's sizing. It's going to be there, guaranteed. That's a little hack from your boy Adam. Easy to cop, perfect sneaker. You can wear it around and still be really, really fly. And this sneaker is going to work in the reverse of my usual rule, okay? Because normally the sneaker is the superstar of my outfit, okay? Normally the sneaker is the superstar of my outfit, but you can really dress up an Air Force One because it's a blank canvas. So you can wear all sorts of stuff and really make that Air Force One pop. And it's super clean, okay? It's super clean and you can wear it wherever you want. I'm telling you, Air Force One, they back, man. Don't think about them. Don't think about like Harlem World and, the Dipset and all that with the big old jerseys and the Air Force Ones. I'm telling you, take it from me, that sneaker's back. Okay, sneaker number 2 is another slept-on model, surprisingly, but it comes in all sorts of collabs. It's a classic, all right? The Air Max 1. Yeah, Air Max 1. Think about it. The entire pattern collection, all of the cool collabs has been going on, but for real, if you could just get an Air Max 1 in a clean colorway, even in some of the pattern colorways, all right? But remember, you're going to have to make those work. But if you get it in a clean colorway, the white and red, something like that, you can wear that sneaker with anything but a suit. Don't wear it with a suit. It won't go with a suit, but you could dress it up if you want. You could definitely go out on a nice date with that sneaker on. You could definitely get creative with that sneaker. And it is a grown man sneaker, okay? It's not too loud. It's not too crazy. It's not like a wild Yeezy or something like that, or a Yeezy Slide, or, one of those, like, it's not a eccentric sneaker. It's just a cool, clean sneaker. I'm telling you, fellas, Air Max 1 is a super slept-on model, means you can cop it even on resale. Even the pattern collection isn't going for crazy resale if you want to go that route. Most you're going to spend is $300 on these things, or put $300. Yeah, you're not going to get above $400 on that sneaker. And I wouldn't suggest you spend $400 on the Air Max 1. That's really the point. But for real, if you want to get the white, red Air Max 1, you can find that on StockX or online easy. And that is an easy thing to put on. It's a perfect sneaker. And you're going to hear me say that a lot, okay? It's a perfect sneaker and it just works. Honestly, it just works. That's what I'm into right now. Things that just work, okay? As you get older, you want to wear these models that you used to have. And, the Jordan 1 High, and I'm going to get to that. The Jordan 1 High is always a go-to. People like that one. The 3s and the 4s are good as well. 2s are even cool. Some 2s, I've been big on Jordan 2s, okay? Some 2s work out as well. But that Air Max 1, easy work. I'm telling you, cop you a pair of Air Max 1, y'all. I'm stressing this. Cop you a pair of Air Max 1s. You're going to make it work, and you're going to, especially for y'all single dudes out there. Y'all single dudes out there, trust me, you're going to be fresh. You can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong. I'm trying to tell you. I was one of you at one point, man. I might have had some Air Max 1s on when I first went out with my wife. I'm pretty sure I had them on at some point early on. Do that. Get you a pair. All right, the third and final pair of go-to sneakers that every man needs to have, and this is a silhouette. All right, I'm specific about the Air Max 1. The Air Force 1 and the Air Max 1. Okay, even though you can get any color of the Air Max 1, and again, like I said about the Air Force 1, there's all sorts of cool colors that you can make work, but the white one is the one you gotta have. Okay, this is something that is starting to get hyped up. Okay, people starting to see it. The youngins are getting their grips on it. Okay, they're getting their talons on this one. So as old heads, we're going to have to be careful because you're going to spend a little bit of resale on some of these, especially the super hyped up ones. Okay, I'm just warning you. But this sneaker comes in so many colors. All right, there's so many versions of them. There's even 2 different cuts of them. Right, there's the OG cut, and then there's like this newer cut. All right. And I'm talking about the Jordan 1 Low. The Jordan 1 Low is so clean. It's a great sneaker, bro. Bro, you can wear that with a suit. You can wear that dressed up to work. It's a low sneaker, so it's not like the Jordan 1 High where you have to do a lot of stuff to it to make it work, right? It's a low sneaker, so you can wear it with the crop pants. You can do whatever. You can wear them with shorts, ankles, with no socks, ankle socks. Do whatever you want with them. You can wear them with jeans. The Jordan 1 Low is my favorite sneaker right now. Okay. And I hate that because it's super hyped up, right? So it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to get. Like the Travis Scotts are going to be hard to get. Unlike the Travis Scott Air Force One or the Air Max One, those are a little easier to cop, a little easier to get on the resale. The Jordan 1 lows, the Travis Scott Jordan 1 lows, especially the ones that just dropped or the fragments that dropped last year, Travis Scott, okay, are going to cost a lot of money. I wouldn't even suggest you look into it unless you're just a rich guy. Okay, but Jordan 1 lows in pretty much any colorway. And again, there's two different cuts. There's the OG cut with the Nike Air on the tongue. And then there's a different kind of cut where it has a Jumpman on the tongue. But they both look great. I own both silhouettes, and they aren't that different. They aren't that different. The one with the Jordan 1 on the tongue is a little, the sneaker is a little fatter, basically, as opposed to the one, the OG is like a little more streamlined and slim. But they're both great. You can find them in any color. You can find them in the original color in both silhouettes. And remember, the silhouettes are just slightly different. Okay, it's not a drastic difference at all. The naked eye, most people are not going to notice nor care. Okay, you can get the classic colorways, the Tar Heel colorway, the bread colorway, the white and red colorway, Chicago colorway in both, or you can go crazy and get an orange pair, a green pair, a purple pair. They work and they are super casual, but you can also dress them. Okay, you can also dress them up and you can wear them wherever you want. Take this as a stamp of approval from me. If you listen to me, it's a stamp of approval from me. The Jordan 1 Low has become my favorite sneaker, and I'm definitely on the mission to cop them. And I think you should too, because it's a grown man sneaker, in my opinion. All right. So, I hope that helped you out, man. I like to give these little tips on the show. That's what this is all about, man. I'm starting to change my personal style. So take a journey with me, man. I'm also going to bring the heat check back to the show because, again, we on YouTube, y'all. We on YouTube on the OMF network. You want to check us out. And I'm going to make sure I step up my visuals because the heat check is something that people have been asking for a lot. And I will be featuring some of these sneakers in the heat check. Okay? So, without further ado, my man Greg from the Sneak Diss podcast is coming up, man. We talked about a lot. He's a super insightful guy. We talked about the sneaker game and sneaker culture in general, being older guys in the culture. It's weird to say that, but yeah, older guys in the culture and so much, much more, man. I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's jump right to it. Man, thank you so much for joining the show, man.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate the invite.
I'm a big fan of the Sneak This podcast, man. We're going to talk about it. In fact, let's just jump right to that, man. How did you guys get started?
You know what it was, I always tell everybody this is like, I immediately thought it was an original idea, a sneaker podcast. I listen to podcasts all the time. And then I had I was like, well, let me go on Apple and just type in sneakers and stuff like that. And I didn't realize there had been like quite a few before us. And at the time, there was only one maybe that was really active. So then I was like, all right, well, let me listen to it, kind of take a look. And I didn't feel like it was a good representation of like how sneakerheads talk to each other, like friends,
Yeah.
So considering that, like the text message thread that, we had, I was like, we just want to start a show and share how we talk to each other, which is kind of what made the show the success. So, one of the things was everybody always asked me, like, where did I get the name from, the Sneak Diss? And it's always like, it's just sneaker. And then the diss, I added an S, was because we say how we feel, discussions,
Yeah.
But, one of the things that I realized was like, I always talk about this with the show is that when you start something, and I'm sure you feel the exact same way, it just feels good that when you conceive an idea in yourself and you actually go forth and do it. I'm sure you have been involved every time you had those conversations with the homies, like, yo, we should start a business. Yeah. We should do this. We should do that. And it never comes to fruition. But, that's the one thing I do take a lot of pride in, and George, obviously we started out with 3 and then it went down to 2 and, and dynamics do change. And, it's just awesome that me and George are able to like, kind of continue that and keep it going. And, coming out of Arizona, I know you said you're at a DC area, Arizona isn't a real super culture when it comes to sneakers, but we have something to offer. And I think George and I provide real sneakerhead opinions that people talk to each other. A lot of people don't, I don't want to say don't have the guts, but like, they don't want to voice that because in the back of your mind, you feel like, well, what if Nike doesn't like it? Or what if, but like, that's how we talk to each other, you know? So, that's kind of how we got started and, kind of learned, like I said, man, YouTube, I learned from YouTube and just literally learned like how to edit, what to download, how to record, the microphones. A lot of people don't know that. Like your show always sounds crystal clear, and people don't understand how hard just that is, just having deliverable audio. You could talk about all the sneakers you want in the world, but like if it sounds awful, won't nobody care. So, but yeah, so that's kind of basically it.
Yeah, if that production isn't there, it's almost pointless, man. And I've always been very impressed with the production value of your show. You're doing a great job with that, man. And I like that piece about like friends just talking, you know what I mean? I think because again, this is a culture thing. This show is based on the culture of sneakers, right? And
Right.
It's not just, oh, we love everything and everything is hunky-dory, right? It's sometimes we disagree on stuff. Sometimes a release is a legit slap in the face, right? Sometimes, like every brand, whether it be Nike, Adidas, whatever, can release crap and can release, just like, phenomenal product, right? I really love the idea that you guys keep it real. I like that whole thing, like according to me, right? Like, because it's your personal opinion.
That's how when we first started the podcast. I mean, I'll admit, we've grown because we were really rough, first up on people, and but we did have to add that to me because you'd be surprised at like how many people like they love it and that's cool. Like that doesn't have nothing to do with me. And if I say, oh, those suck. Feelings legit get hurt. Like they're like, yo, you crazy. Yo, you don't like nothing. Like, I'm like, no, that's to me. Like that. I love that you love it, but to me, I don't love it.
Yeah. Do you think, and we get to just like the culture in general and where we are today, because you guys are, you guys are, you comment on the culture often, right? Do you think people are a little too sensitive within this? Like, because again, just because I don't like a release or I critique something and it's something hyped up, people get really worked up about things like that.
Right. Yeah. It's, I think it's just people that are like, put the time in, you know what I mean? And I don't want to sound like, this old OG elitist, but like, you can go back and say, oh, I remember you could just walk in the store and get it off the shelf. And a lot of sneakerheads don't want to admit that if it was just sitting on the shelves, you really wouldn't want it. You know what I mean? And sneakerheads have a hard time admitting that part of getting the latest and wanting the latest is you want everyone to be able to see what you got and they didn't get it. I tell people all the time, one of the biggest factors of me growing up being a sneakerhead was like everyone saying, dang, Greg gets it all. And me having that feeling of like, yeah, I get it. Y'all tried, but I'm sorry. That's just the reality of it. If that wasn't the case, people wouldn't post their wins on social media. I do feel that people we're a little hard on the sneaker culture at times, but people don't understand like sometimes it's a psychological wear. We basically are begging people to give them money. We're not begging them to like, here's $20. I'm literally like, please, can I give you $300, please? Like, can you please take it? And they're like, no, sorry. You're not good enough to win this raffle. I remember when the word raffle used to be, I put a ticket in and I get something for free. No, a raffle now is I win to give you $300.
Bro, I mean? I was explaining that to my wife that like we're the only consumers that work like this, right? You want a pair of red bottoms, you want a car, something like that. Unless it's something super exclusive, which is rare, right? You have the cash, you can buy it. With us, is we have the cash. We need your permission, your acceptance to buy this product. So it is, in a way, it's sort of insane that we participate in this thing. But I think you bring it back to what you said earlier. It's fun, man. Like, it's like it's a hobby. You know what I mean? Collecting this stuff, selling stuff, trading stuff. It's a hobby. And I think that's one piece that unless you're really into it and really inside of it, it could come off as kind of like strange. Like, man, why would you go through that just to get that thing? It's not materialism. That's what definitely plays a part to it, but it's also like a bit of a conquest. And what I would tell people, and you tell me what you think about this, what I would tell people is if it's bothering you, then take a break. Stop.
Oh, you have to. Yeah. No, because I did the exact same thing last year. I think it was for when the first Kobe might have released after his death. I can't remember. Whatever breaking point it was, I was like, oh, I'm done with sneakers app and I'm done with online raffles. And no joke, and I wasn't done buying sneakers. I was buying off eBay and the things that I liked, but it legit made me feel better. Like I was like, man, I actually have a fresher breath there, because a lot of people would say to me, "Oh, even if you lose, it only took a couple seconds to try for it." Well, you're right, but my anger was lasting longer than it took to apply for it. Like it took me 2 seconds to hit to check out and say sold out, but then I was mad for about 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Right. And then it affected me, and then it was like, you get into that motion of like, oh shoot, I missed out there. Let me go try this app. Oh, Soul Links tweeted out. Oh, let me go try here. And you get sold out, or freeze, crash website after another. And you're like, I can't take this. I mentally can't take this anymore. And, I will say though, like one thing that I do feel disappointment in the culture sometimes is that we lean too heavily on things. Like, I understand dunks and stuff like that, and I get it. I personally don't understand why dunks and stuff ever faded out. It's just like, I get that, I feel like we're a culture to where we appreciate seeing things you don't see often, and of course dunks faded away, but like, I appreciated when somebody would walk in wearing a dunk and I could see them wearing a dunk and it's like, oh man, that's dope. I ain't seen that in a minute. It wasn't like, oh, those suck. Look at him. He's wearing a dunk. How dare he? Like, who you disrespectful to the culture if somebody was wearing dunks when everybody wasn't, and you're looking at it like, okay, that's weird. It's not how it works,
right?
Right. And you and I are more mature gentlemen. We're older than a lot of the culture, but it's always this battle within the culture with like the OGs and the new guys. And I used to find myself in that back and forth, and it was like, what am I doing? Because I would tell the new guys, I'm like, you're wearing now, irregardless of not if they saw Jordan play, whatever, you can't dictate when you were born, but you're still wearing a sneaker that was made in 1989. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you can't be disrespectful to the past and tell me you need Concord 11s. You can't tell me that sneaker was made in what, 96, 97, whatever it was. You can't be disrespectful to the past. Now, I, as myself, I had to learn I can't be disrespectful to the current as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, you find yourself being like super duper, annoyed with everything. And it's just like, you have to separate yourself from it and say, that's just not for me,
Yeah. Yeah, man, I agree 100%, man. That elitism that comes along with being, in the culture, and yeah, it's a wild thing how there's like this hierarchy of like, I'm an old head, I wear, or I'm young and I wear this, and then it's like, that's the ugly part of sneaker culture. I feel like, wear what you want to wear. If you fresh, you're gonna make it fresh, right? If you still wearing Nike basketball today, trust me, you got a pair of Giannis's on or something like that.
Of course.
You can make that work, right? Just because dunks are back, or like you said, back in like 2012, 2013, when nobody was really rocking with dunks. Trust me, I was buying dunks. You were finding them in Marshalls and places like that, but it still worked out, right? So it's really just about being yourself and really enjoying the culture, man. Before I let you go, I do want to give you the opportunity. I mean, look, the world knows about the podcast. You guys are doing great things. But for anybody that may be asleep and don't know about the Sneak This podcast, let them know what's up.
Sneak This podcast, weekly episode every single week. We missed a couple here and there due to things, but I tell you, we're 250 plus episodes in, some that were unnumbered. One thing I would tell anybody, with the podcast is that we always make sure that, if I got to record it in my closet or in the house, I'll do so if I have to, you know what I mean? But, we're a sneaker podcast. I tell people all the time, we're sneaker culture analysts. Okay. So if I talk about what's happening on social media, what's going to release, a pickup, if I talk about something I don't like an athlete said, sneaker wise company, we're going to talk about it. Anybody can start a show and perfectly fine. Yo, those are fire. Those are fire. Those are fire. Anybody can do that. Anybody can open a box and say, look at my pickup. But I want to know your opinion. Like I used to give sneaker YouTubers a hard time because I used to watch them expecting them for me to get an opinion. Like, cool, they got the shoe. What are they going to have to say about it? And it was just, the material was suede.
Yeah.
This is cool. I like it. It was never nothing new. And I didn't get nothing from that. Now, it may be just me as a person, but I feel like a lot of people want to hear how you really feel sometimes. And it may hurt, and there's a lot of things I've said that I go back like, I probably shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? But, it's how I felt in the moment. And, the podcast is, obviously on Instagram, the Sneaker Podcast, on Twitter, on YouTube. We were one of the only sneaker podcasts, if not maybe one of the only that still do video every single week, and that's not an easy thing, I mean, that like video it's not easy. It's one thing to talk on a mic, but to do video too, whoo,
it's
rough. So I appreciate anybody who checks us out. Like I said, find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook as well. And then subscribe on YouTube if you like. If not, just hit the thumbs up, like it, whatever. I hate saying stuff like that. It makes me feel so like, subscribe, share. Yeah. But definitely I appreciate it, Adam.
Yeah, man. Let's do it again, man. I'll holler at you.
All right.
Big shout outs to Greg. Big shout outs to you for tuning in, man. Remember those style tips I gave you, okay? We stepping it up for 2022 and into 2023, man, especially my older gentlemen out there, all right? To be honest, we're the ones that started all of this. I want to talk like this for a second, man. I want to talk my talk. We're the ones that started all this, man. So we're the ones that's going to elevate and continue on sneaker culture and fashion culture. You know what I mean? We know where we going. We the ones with a little bit of money in our pocket because we earned it. You know what I'm saying? We got to get up and get dressed. For us married folks, get dressed. For your lady, for y'all single fellas out there, you know what you're doing. All right? Be fresh this summer, man. Be fresh this summer. It's a mindset, okay? That's all I really got to say about that. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Remember, follow the team, the Up On Game Network, at the Up On Game Network on all social platforms. And of course, we're on iHeart Radio. We're on all podcasting platforms, and we release shows every day of the week, man. So check out all of the shows on the Up On Game Network. Shouts out to the fam at the OMFnetwork, the On My Feet Network. Look, we doing it, man. A lot of dope content over there as well. So go ahead and follow them at On My Feet Network, okay? Remember to mind your mental health, ladies and gentlemen. That's vitally important. That comes first. Mind your mental health. Also mind your physical health, okay? And never, ever, ever forget, and please continue to be great. I'm up out of here. Peace.